Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna take a little bit of time and start building on Makoa and Liz's house for when they, get their lives together and have enough money to buy it. I chose this big old lot in Sulani with the intention of them being able to expand and grow as needed, as well as having space for like his kids to come visit. So I built this like I normally build my houses in The Sims, which I build them like actual houses. When I'm playing, I do not fully furnish a house. Like I set it up like a house would be if you were actually just like straight up building or buying a house like in real world. So really bland colors, like the walls are there and some of the appliances that would be already included in a house are there. But other than that, my Sims would furnish it. Like they wouldn't be selling all their furniture, they'd be bringing it with them and then repainting and redecorating and I don't know, replacing things that are old, things like that. So that's kind of the way I built this house. I did have a reference image from Pinterest that I was looking at, but all I ended up doing with that was kind of like taking inspiration for like the front porch, and the rest of it just kind of went sideways on me. But you know what? I think it turned out nice, and because of the way I build my houses and play, maybe if I have like some sort of massive epiphany while we're playing, we can always knock down a couple walls, build up a couple walls, whatever. So for right now, I think this is just in a good place for them to be able to move in and be relatively comfortable without having to do a lot of stuff. So I'm going to cut out some of the kind of fiddly bits that I did. You guys don't want to watch me look at windows for like 10 minutes, but other than that, I'm probably just gonna, I'm just speeding this up a little bit so it doesn't take forever, so that you guys can see what I'm doing. I am using custom content in this build because it's going in my game. So like a lot of the windows, actually I think most of the windows that I used in this build were custom content. The back door, which we haven't gotten to, is custom content. Like there's a few things in here that are custom content. So like if you see something and you think, oh my god, that is like the best thing ever, just like put it in the comments, like where it was and what it was. I can tell you what it is, what like collection I got it from and what modder I got it from and everything. But since this is just going in my game, I wasn't worried about avoiding custom content, and therefore I wasn't really like keeping track of what I put in there. But I can always go back and check if somebody really wants to know. So I was going to turn up the music, but then I realized what part we were at, and I figured I better explain myself. So like these little lamps that I'm putting up them up there to hide, to hide the end of that like string light, and that's kind of like in front of the door. So like when I zoomed in, I noticed that the end of that it's not the same exact height as the fence height. So it kind of looks like it's like just about like hovering above the fence. And that was driving me nuts. So I put these lamps out here. Like they give a nice little like, I don't know, ambiance or whatever to like their front porch situation out here. But they also hide that little bit of gap there very nicely. So that's what I was doing there. I just figured I'd pop back in and explain like what the hell. So yeah, I'm gonna turn the music up and shut up, because if you've been watching my videos for a while, I'm not gonna talk through this whole thing. I don't have that much to say. So I'll be back in a bit when, I don't know, something interesting happens. So for this kitchen, I ended up using that double door that has the doors like sitting open. That one is custom content. These counters actually came with this pack, the pack that gave you Sulani. I wanted to put a little bit of color in here. Cause like, you know how when you move into a house that's not like a new build, like you move into a house that someone else had, and sometimes you just have like really weird color choices or weird wallpaper choices. I wanted to give them something that had a little bit of character. So for a start, at least, I picked these counters that have this light blue top on them. And then I made as much as I could match. So like you can see the oven there is kind of like that light blue. I did end up having to fiddle with some of these counters a little bit to get them the way I wanted and get the windows fitted in, because I didn't want the the cabinets up top to be like over the window. And then this kind of like pass-through bar here, you'll see in a sec, but I cut quite a bit of what I did here out, because like I could see what I wanted to do in my head, but like it wasn't necessarily easy to do it in The Sims. So like I have these little arches things up there. Those are custom content. And I raised them up because like I wanted like a half, kind of sort of a half wall, but like from the top down. And The Sims doesn't make that really easy to do. And like all of these little pieces that I tried here, and I did leave some of it in. I just cut a good chunk of it. Like they just didn't fit right. Like they were way wider than the pieces, or they were way skinnier, or they didn't line up correctly. Like I was just having a fit. So after like much longer than you've seen here of me fiddling with this, I actually ended up finding this like weird ceiling light that I literally don't think I've ever used in a build, but it was a really similar color blue. And it was kind of like, well, you know what, this kind of looks like it belongs, like it looks like it's part of the wall. So that's what we ended up with there. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad, but it does look a little like quirky. And it clips through the wood just a little bit, but it kind of looks like it's holding it in place. And then I did notice when I started working on the second floor that the top of that blue light does actually cut through clips through the floor upstairs, but there's a wall over it, so you can't see it. So we left it alone. So you'll see me placing furniture from time to time, like that table that was just in there a second ago. And all I was really doing was trying to get the spacing right. Like I didn't want to make a room a certain size, you know, based on like my eyeballs and be like totally wrong about the amount of space that room needed to have, like a dining room or something like that. So every once in a while, there's a little bit of like me placing like a random piece of furniture that like, and nothing else, like just like I'll just plunk a bed down. Like it's really just me getting my spacing correct. So that's what I do. I don't know if that's, you know, what everyone does, but that's the way I make sure that I have my rooms kind of the right size for what I want. Okay, I ran out of stuff to say again, so I'm gonna turn the music back up. Okay, we're running up on the end of this. This was the second point in the build where I decided I was going to try and put some character in there. So I was just going to put like some crazy ass wallpaper up on this wall. And I ended up not. Well, I mean, like it's not crazy. It's not as crazy as I could have gone with some of the custom wallpapers I have, but you know, it's not terrible. And in watching this back, I also realized that little like room under the stairs there is supposed to be like a powder room for the first floor, and I didn't put anything in there, and you don't move into a house and like not have toilets and stuff. So I'll just do that off camera, but you know, just keep in mind that I'm gonna go back and actually put like a sink and a toilet in that first floor room. But this was kind of the finished product minus the roofs. I'm not sure how much of this roof stuff I'm going to leave in because there was a lot of fiddling. This second floor, I did not do myself any favors when it comes to putting on roofs for this house. Like, and you can already see so far I have like put on 2 roofs, taken off 2 roofs, put on a 3rd roof, took off the 3rd roof. I think I do it one more time. Like it ended up being a lot. And then when I got to the point where I needed to put the roof on the 2nd floor, then I was like, well, what the hell am I gonna do now? That was just a whole ordeal. I did not do myself any favors. Yeah, see, this is about the point where I was like, this is dumb. Why did I do this to myself? So the roofs aren't symmetrical, which is probably going to drive me absolutely nuts because I have a thing for symmetry, but this was kind of the best we could do. So the last little bit we have to get done here is just like a little bit of street dressing, I guess, for the front and the roofs, the coloring and all that stuff that goes on them. And then we'll be done. And I'll have some pictures. I'll show kind of like in my brain where I think everything goes, and we'll go from there. Okay, so here's the house finished product. I wasn't sure about these roofs like being two different kinds of roofs on different floors, but I actually think it looks okay. You can kind of see the view you get from behind it, which is really nice. This is the back end of the house. So like I said, I don't really furnish these, so that's why there's nothing back there, but there's space for there to be like a boat or something when they want to get in there and furnish things, and there's also a place for them to dive off the back. This is the layout of the first floor. We have a kitchen, a dining room, a living room, and the bathroom that is the one I forgot to put stuff in, but I will. This is the layout for the second floor. We've got a bathroom, a closet, a bedroom, the hallway, and a balcony that looks out over the back end. And finally, just because I wanted to, this is the view like if you were standing in the front door. It's so pretty, and I think this would be a really great house for Makoa and Liz. The house ended up costing a little bit more than I intended for it to, probably partially because of the size of the lot, if nothing else, but I still think it's a really good home for them, and they're about halfway there with the money, so it shouldn't be too much longer before they're able to move in. I really hoped you all enjoyed building this house with me. If you did, I'd really appreciate a like and a subscribe. It really helps out small channels like me. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic week, and I'll see you back here next weekend.